Let's talk about this. Tottenham, should they stay with Ange Postecoglou? If not, should they sign somebody else? Who should they go with as the manager?
Before we talk about who they should go with,
let's start with the first question. Should they keep him or should they move on?
Do they even deserve him is maybe the other question. I think Ange Postecoglou is winning the Europa League changes the entire conversation. It does change everything, but you can't neglect how the Premier League season has gone, how every other cup competition has gone for Tottenham. And my quick answer is probably he should go. Because he wants to. Because he wants to go.
Tottenham should make the change. He should be the one. You can't fire me. I quit.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I remember correctly, and Carter, you might be able to help me out with this. Didn't Tottenham fire Jose Mourinho on the eve of a title? Of a title match?
Final.
9 days before a final.
9 days before a final. This feels like it's too late for Tottenham at this point. Tottenham and Daniel Levy always find a way to sort of mess up a good thing. And this feels like something that they may. Now, I know that comes on the back of them finishing in essentially last place, but still being able to remain in the Premier League, standings or in the table. So for me personally, it feels like you have a good reason to maybe move on from him. But the man won you a title when that was the rub against Tottenham for so long.
Right.
It feels like maybe pay some respect, give him a little bit more time. Has he earned it? By winning a title, I feel like, that at least unlocks you 6 more months.
Sure.
At the very least. And I agree completely with you. They should keep him, and Ange should still go because he'd say, you don't respect me.
Yeah, they should. They should be begging him to stay.
100%.
That's for one. But when we look at his stats as a Premier League,
they're not going to be good.
Well, so arguably, his points per game. He's managed 101 matches for Tottenham. He has gotten a 1.53 points per game average. The closest he was ever to that was when he was the Panachaiki manager. Don't know where that is.
We all know them.
He managed for 2 games.
Right.
And but in his time as a first division and top level manager, this has been his worst ever record. So he has to ask himself, do I also want to be here?
He will get a job at other places because he won a European final.
Without a doubt. So it's you use the word respect. Like Tottenham should show more respect to him. And I would argue the media has to, he's deserved a little bit more respect. Getting Tottenham into the Champions League with the results that they've had is nothing short of a miracle. Not every manager could do that. Not every manager could just, look, it's not about.
They finished 17th and got in the Champions League. It's crazy.
It's at least he instilled some belief in the team when they had every reason to be doubtful. They had 22 losses. There's 38 games,
ridiculous.
22, and you're in the Champions League. You found a way to get it done. And that Europa League final was not pretty by any means.
No, probably the worst game of soccer I've ever seen in my entire life.
So it's something where he did the most with what he had, and the most ended up being a Champions League spot for Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay, so let's live in a world where they move on. Who do you bring in?
Oh,
it's
boy.
tough because they've had so many big managers. We talked about this when Rafa Benitez leaves or Carlo Ancelotti leaves Everton, right? If you want to be a club that has that type of manager, that top tier, that S tier manager, you need to hire another one to remain in there because Everton was on that teetering point.
Yeah.
So they go out and get Rafa Benitez, which clearly didn't work out. He's a Liverpool legend. And now here they are, David Moyes back to their old manager. If Tottenham wants to remain at that level, you've kind of hired everyone that's available.
That's the main thing.
So now you got to go
swiped
young.
On all the dating apps.
Yeah.
There's nobody really left.
And you went on dates. None of them ended in marriage.
So maybe it's you. The common denominator.
You Tottenham needs to see a therapist, bro.
Okay.
Work on yourself. But honestly, that you're gonna have to go the way Brighton did, the way Bayer Leverkusen did, the way Bayern Munich get somebody young.
I thought like Graham Potter instead of choosing West Ham. Like I thought Tottenham would be a better project for him. Way more resources.
For sure.
That's like
and that's another good point. This is one of the most one of the most profitable clubs in the world.
Good business, Tottenham.
Good business.
They
bruh.
got supporters. They got supporters.
They got
all-
Beyonce concerts
all over the world, and the team historically gives them nothing
Not a
to
damn
be
thing.
proud of. And for some reason, like our producer,
Right.
co-
This
continue-
man, Ange Postecoglou, this Australian, shows up and brings you a trophy. And now we're talking about who else do you bring?
Mhm.
I honestly don't know. It's going to have to be someone young. I was thinking maybe like a Will Still, but it looks like he's going to go to Southampton.
Yeah.
You know, someone like that, someone young, exciting that can kind of change the game.
Yeah, because they've tried the legendary older manager that has won trophies at other
Mourinho
clubs.
couldn't do it. Conte couldn't do it. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Nuno
Bunch of-
Espirito Santo could do whatever else. Couldn't do it there.
So maybe look, the right thing to do would introduce some stability to this team. Reward your manager that has given you a trophy in a very, very long time, and that's the smart thing to do. You would hope that the board, that Levy, that Tottenham fans are just like a little bit, because again, the weeks leading up to that final, fans were still screaming, Ange out, we don't need him, losing in the Premier League, and him still having faith in the team that like they can get something done in Europa League. So it is we've seen, watch. This is what's fascinating about football as a whole. It's like you can be in two separate competitions and you're watching two different teams. You can the same exact team that you cannot stand watching week in and week out in your league,
bodying
it in Europe, and you're like, okay, it's working there. Why isn't it? It's a dichotomy, and it's very difficult for Tottenham fans to kind of parse how they should feel. But he won something. Keep him there.
Right.
See what happens. It can't. It's more likely going to get worse before it gets better with somebody else. That's my thought. So,
oof, they can't stay. They can't get relegated. You can't get relegated the same year you're in Champions League.
Okay. Tottenham, they'll try.
They'll figure it
They'll
out.
see what it's like. All right. Shout out to everybody watching on OneFootball. We are the Cooligans. If you would like to subscribe to our channel, you can do that. Link is in the description right there. Do that right now. Get yourself correct.
Come
all right.
on.